Okay guys, welcome to this quick show and tell. Welcome to the new guys as well. What I'm talking about this afternoon is just a bit about fire starters, and particularly in the bushcraft community there's lots and lots of different types of fire starters. They're all personal preference. Some of them we do for fun, some of them we use because we have to, some of them we just do because Chester's interested in them. So on the internet and in the shops you'll see everything out there to start fires. Bushcraft is, you know, a lot of it's about starting fires, or twig stoves. You know, we like fire, we use it a lot to cook with, to craft with, things like that. So I've just brought a quick selection of things just for you to see, those that haven't seen them before. So I'll start off with the most obvious things. You know, the lighter. Great, you know, you just flick it, there's fire. I generally have some with a little bit of duct tape around me. On our last Arctic trip, came in really handy because I ripped my sleeping bag and all the precious down was falling out, and luckily I had a lighter with some duct tape. Again, it's a flame extender, so if you're having trouble lighting a fire, you can rip it into small little strips and sort of like get it all together in a bundle like you would a tinder bundle, light it. It's a flame extender, it'll give you a couple of minutes extra to get your flame going. All sorts of lighters, you've got jet lighters, gas lighters, the Zippo kind of lighters, and you even got these little things, they're called peanut lighters. When I started bushcraft, these were very, very popular. You don't tend to see them anymore because they don't work so well. There you go. And they're basically a Zippo. Exactly the same way it works. There's a little bit of like fluff up in the top and a wick and a small flint, and they work. They suffer from the same problem as a Zippo in the fact that if you don't seal them correctly, they'll run out dead quick. It evaporates. Moving on from the lighter, the next greatest invention, going back in time, was matches. You've all seen like your household matches and things like that. In the British Army rations you get these. It's like storm matches with a separate striker, and these I think are the UCO ones. Exactly the same, just in a different tub. In fact, no, they're not. They're Life Systems ones. Same, strikers on the bottom, and they're just the storm matches that'll burn for 10-15 seconds, even in water. So they're a good option, and they're lightweight to have. And then from there we go on to sort of what we call the bushcrafty fire lighters. There's loads of different types people like to have a play with. Magnifying glass, not so great in the UK, purely because we've got a distinct lack of sun most of the time, so only in high summer would you use this. But if you're going somewhere that has a lot of sun, you know, desert islands, or you're going to the desert like Africa, Sahara, where you're guaranteed a load of sun, they're a belting option. And then we go on to the flint and steels and things like this. This one is what's issued to the RAF. It's an emergency fire starter. They come with these little wax plug tinders that you just peel apart, and inside there's a very tiny, it's basically just the sparky bit of a lighter. So, and that lights the little plugs inside. It's not waterproof as such. You can just cover it in tape and waterproof it, but they come with instructions. Don't know why. You shouldn't need them. So moving on to other military ones. This one is the American military fire starter. I'm not sure if they're still issuing it. I do believe they do. It's called the Doan fire starter. It's basically a massive big block of magnesium with a ferro rod on the top. Now, I've tried with these so often and I find them a lot of work. The magnesium does light. If you get a pile of it, it'll take you about 10 minutes to get a pile the size of a 5p, just by scraping it with your knife, scraping, and you can sort of like with the back of your knife start to scrape it off, as you can see. But it takes an awful lot of time to get anything worthwhile, and it blows about and stuff. And eventually you can you know, sort of ferro rod it and strike it out. A lot of faff, in my opinion. So You can get one of these, as like most of the ferro rods, if you dunk it in water and that, will still work. And then you've got the ones you'll see in the shops mainly, like my fire ones. This is the what they call the soldier model. This is the scout model. So you get like 3 or 4 times more sparks to the big one as you do to the little one. But they both work exactly the same. You know, they both throw out the same amount of sparks. Generally, like my fire ones, send big, you know, big chunks of sparks. And then, how can you not have a Bushcraft fire starter without a Bear Grylls one? Of course, Bear being Gucci, you know, he's a TV star. His ones come apart like that, but exactly the same. A lot smaller than the actual army fire starter. And but again, if you give it a go, once you get all the stuff off it, it does throw sparks. Although, you know, it takes a lot of work. There is a little thing in the top where you can keep tinder. So a little bit of cotton wool or whatever you know your tinder of choice is, and that's just got a little O-ring on it. So that's the Bear Grylls fire starter, no different. A lot of people now are going for these ones. They're cheap enough, and these as well, 4 times the size of the army one, and again, you know, throws good sparks. Absolutely fine bomb-proof bit of kit. A little bit of tape around the end as well. You know, again, flame extender, good for repairs. And when you've got a big knife, it's something to hold on to, because if you've got this end, it's a bit, you know, a bit ropey. Chinesium, of course, wouldn't be one of my videos if you didn't find something in China. These things are about £1. Now, I've not opened this before, as you can probably tell. Will it come open? It doesn't. Oh, there we go. Right, so feels all right, looks all right. As I expected. It does throw, but if you look at the size of the sparks coming off, not exactly. If I take the little one, the Scout one here, no, see the big difference?
What sparks?
So that's throwing an absolute ton of white hot sparks, and the Chinesian one, not great. Yeah, so yeah, nice idea, looks pretty cool. Thought give it a go, and it folds in on itself, but again, you get what you pay for. Like my fire ones are really good. Okay, moving on, we have the oldest type, if you like, of sparkers. We have the flints and steels. This one's a Viking pattern one, and the way they work is exactly, well, it's quite the opposite of this. With these, the steel shaves off the material, which then ignites. With this, the rock, believe it or not, shaves off the steel, but it does it so fast it creates heat. So you see the little sparks, and you'll see the difference in colour with the sparks. See how they're yellow? These sparks are about 200 or 300 degrees. Those sparks are about 1200-1300 degrees. So in order to get this to work, you need a tinder. You know, you need something to get it going. And usually what that is something called charcloth, or you can get amadou, which is part of a mushroom, or some people can do it with very, very fine shavings of stuff. And open that up. But basically, all charcloth is cotton cloth, and it's charred off in a tin like this. So basically, get an old t-shirt or tea towel or something, but it's 100% cotton. Put it in a tin like this. The hole doesn't have to be that big, maybe even a little, sort of half the size of that, and pop it in the fire. What will happen is you'll see smoke billowing out of there eventually. As soon as the smoke stops, and this is the most important bit, as soon as the smoke stops, throw a twig in it, or bung it up with something, because what that's done is it's took all of the semi-combustibles out, and it's made it very combustible. So as soon as the smoke stops, then it's going to start suck oxygen, and then it's going to burn. So the only thing that stops it burning is the fact that it's smoking. And the way it works is you'll put it on the edge of your flint and a little bit of luck. Oh, nearly. Probably not the best charcoal for this. Fluff it out a little. I don't want to play that one. So it's probably got damp while I've been preparing, but the most important thing is keeping it very, very dry. In fact, it doesn't actually feel like it's fully prepared. That this is a shop bought one. But if anybody's got an old cotton t-shirt, I can show you how to make this much better. Other tinders, you've probably all seen this before. Fat wood. It's basically, if you look at old pine trees that have fallen over right at the base, at the branches, the sap collects and it becomes basically turpentine, and it's very, very flammable. So, you know, as soon as you light it up, it goes, and you know, it'll just keep going and going and going. Great stuff. It just, you know, one stick like that will keep you, you'll light your fire with that, and it'll take what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops to burn. It's like a match, but it just keeps going, you know. Takes a flame dead easy, and you can scrape it up into a little pile and also use your fire steel on it to get it going, and then you can light the sticks. Lovely smell to it if you pass it round.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah. Other tinders, who knows what this is?
Tree bark.
Yeah, which tree?
Birch bark.
Birch bark. Yeah, one of the easiest to identify. There's a load round here, all the trees with the white on, those are birches, silver birch. This looks like it's off paper birch, very similar tree. And again, stuff like this really takes a flame very easily. You know, as soon as it goes, full of oils, goes straight up, burns even when it's damp or wet. Absolutely great piece of tinder, and it's dead lightweight, weighs nothing. So the steel I've just shown you, the Viking steel, comes in various forms. This is one made by a guy called Dave Budd, very good metalsmith. Most of the bushcraft community will have seen his knives, axes, things like that. And again, exactly the same. You know, those are little sparks off, little red ones, not massive sparks. And this one is one that's been made with a little, if you do the bow drill, you can use it as a notch. Well, this is a modern one, as you can tell by the shape, and that machined one. Again, just a piece of steel, high carbon, you know, and they all do the same job. Flint is the best. Sometimes you get something called chert, which is what this is with. It's like it's a similar really hard rock, but again, it will work. So it's just what you find. I mean, we're lucky in the UK, we get a lot of flint. There's countries like in the States and that they have to find the chert. Other tinders you've got ranger bands, which are basically just rubber bands. You know, cut off bits of stuff. All that is a piece of rubber, and again, as a flame extender. So you light it up, and that, you know, it just burns for a lot longer. So while you're getting your fire, you're not using all your fuel. You know, that took a second of your actual lighter, but that'll burn for a while.
And it'll burn wet.
And it'll burn wet. And yeah, and you're not using your fuel. So if you're struggling, you know, especially with damp stuff, to get a fire going, you've got this flame extender. Anything else? Wet fire tinder, posh. Yeah, these are made by a company called Ultimate Survival. Basically, I don't know what it's made of, but it's kind of like a hexamine block that they used to have in the old army cookers. It's basically a little block of chemical that you light. Same again, they call it wet fire because, you know, I don't know why, but people think that, you know, you should be able to dunk things in water and then still light them, but you don't.
Like a fire lighter.
Yeah, it's just like a fire lighter. And finally, one-handed fire lighting. This This is called a Sparkrite or something, but there's loads of companies that do them. They call them Blast Match or something or other, and some people really like them. I think they're a good idea because if you injure a hand, you can still get it going. So it's like a piston affair, and the little striker is inside there. You just pinch it, and you know, if you've got one hand that, say you've cut your hand or something and you can't hold something, it gives you an option, and when you finish with it, it just pops in there. It just lives in there. So that's pretty much all I've got to show you today. Any questions on what we've seen?
I was just about to say, have you got a 5-piston?
Fire piston I haven't got. Yeah, I don't own a fire piston. I used to own a fire piston, but I could never get it to work.
Not very reliable.
So in the UK, I don't know why, I bought one from, I think it was Heine Hayes. It was beautiful. It was buffalo horn. It was like top of the range. Paid about £50 for it, and for the life of me, I tried and couldn't get it to go. Couldn't get a single spark. So I'm thinking, if there's something that difficult to learn or something that unreliable, it's probably not worth having in your kit. But all of these things I've used, except that tin. And the reason I took that tin is because I couldn't find my old one, which is battered, and as you can imagine, it's been in the fire that many times. It's just this black little tin. But there's no, there's no magic about this. It's just a tin with a hole in the lid. And before you start, make a little peg that's the size of that. So as soon as it's stopped smoking in the fire, kick it out, put the peg in, leave it, and then you'll be able to make your char cloth. I was looking for some old tea towels today, so we could have done a char cloth thing, but couldn't find any. But we'll do that on another one. So, really well. Anything else? Everybody happy? Yeah, thanks for your time.
Thanks very much, Dave. Thank you, Dave.
So the hard-boiled sweets, you get travel sweets.
Yeah.
Tins, don't you, from the
Yeah.
station. They're like that big, aren't they?
That's what I generally use.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My ones.
Own, couldn't you, in that?
Oh yeah, you can literally any kind of tin.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't. There's no special tin or anything. All the tin is something that you can get rid of.
Yeah.
And let the fumes escape. Obviously, you don't want one that's fully sealed because it's then a bomb. But yeah, you let the smoke escape, but the critical thing is watching it.
Yeah.
You can't start one and then go and cook your dinner. You've got to stop, watch it. It don't take
And sometimes the smoke ignites as well, and you get a little candle flame coming out of it.
Yeah, if you get the little flame coming out, that's fine. It's when everything stops, then you've got to plug it and go. Or if you see the flame go in, the flame go in, that's igniting everything inside, so it's going to burn your char cloth. But yeah, just a small little hole, and it can be a square tin, flat tin, round tin, doesn't matter what it is. I mean, if you want to make a shitload of it, you could have like a quality street tin. But no, that'd give off a lot of smoke. But yeah, for something that big, because you'd be surprised at how long it lasts. I mean, this shop bought stuff, to be fair, is rubbish. But you know, that is probably, you could probably make 10 times that in there. You know, because you cram it in as much as you can as well. You don't have it loose. It's like cram it in.
And another method you can put the fabric in is you can roll it up into like sausages, like cigars, and then you can do it like that. And then once you've got it, it's I don't know. It's more like a coal. It's not like a flat piece. Yeah. So I've done it where I've rolled it up before, in really tight bundles.
People do it in pieces of copper tube.
Yeah.
You've done that before. So again, it's just a metal container. You know, it don't have to be a tin.
Which one's your favourite?
Oh, good question.
Of all these?
Yeah.
The whites.
No, to be fair, if I've got a jet lighter, I'll show you that. The only reason I've not shown it is generally you have trouble with taking them abroad.
Yeah.
But in here, well, this one's Julie's, but it's similar to mine. It's basically just a waterproof jet lighter.
Oh.
That's out. But is it, or is it just cold? Oh, look. No, it's empty. Did you empty it for Norway?
Sorry.
It's all right, yeah, because you can carry them if they've got nothing in.
What is it? I've got paraffin with me. Is that
paraffin?
Will that work, or can you not?
No, it's gas.
It's a gas one, right?
Will it fill up with the thing for the stove?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, but basically a jet lighter is exactly like a normal lighter, but it's got a little jet coming out. Oh, tinder card. Yeah, this is another one.
Anybody got another piece?
Yeah.
Tinder card?
Tinder cards exactly like these little plugs in there. So these are like little pieces of rope with wax on them that you fluff out. Tinder card, again, is a piece of card that you can fluff out. It's just got lots of little fibres in it. And as you know, to get something to catch fire, the more surface area you've got, the better.
Well, we do our wax biscuits as well.
Yeah, a lot of people make, you know, the face pads, pure cotton face pads. Yeah. Get them, get an old candle and a very old pan, don't think your mum's best pan. And just basically dip them in, put them on a piece of greaseproof paper. You can make 100 for no money. Yeah. And they're great.
We use them a lot.
We use them a lot in the Arctic.
Paraffin wax and Vaseline.
Yeah. Yeah, Vaseline and cotton wool balls as well.
Yeah, my friend does that. You know, she's going like camping and stuff.
Yeah.
Like cotton wool.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's loads of different ones. If anybody wants to try any of them, you know, help yourself.
Have a go, guys.
Yeah. Please, guys.
I'll leave them all out.
I thought I had mine.
If you're going to try lighting some of the tinders and that, obviously do it off the plastic. But I'll leave them all out and you can have a go and see what you think. I'll put that one away because it don't work.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, and if anybody's got any questions or want to know how to do it, give us a shout, I'll show you.
Yeah. All right, yeah.
I remember when you got this.
It's laminated.
Middlewood, didn't you?
Yeah.
I found linen's the best. It's really
If you look at the line
Yeah, of
there,
course.
it's laminated.
You thought you lost it.
So
Got a load of them as well.
Yeah.
That's a lovely. Right, it's dead
So
simple.
I find it holds together better than
push
cotton.
the
Cotton
speed
tends
to the
to
ends
fall
like
apart when it's been charged.
Pops out.
Linen tends to hold
And then
its weave,
you can
whereas the more open weave,
slam it against the bottom
it
of
takes
the
its
eye.
mark easier.
Little plate down.
Yeah, I've never seen one of them. That's the Bear Grylls one.
You've got a key start against it.
Yeah, I haven't seen one of those before.
Just got lazy.
Question I was going to ask.
Use lighter.
Does it throw
We
it
were
out to the
just
side?
talking
Or
about
is
it,
it just
because
come
obviously
out?
Dave was
So you
doing
do it next to it.
So
story
if you got to say,
Yeah,
You do it
our
next to
meat
it.
test, and we were talking about like the magnesium and stuff like that, and then we said that we had like the magnesium block at home. So like, this morning,
magnesium.
so yeah, this morning Dave just said, "Oh, put a few bits together and do like."
Yeah, that's a great idea, especially with kids.
Yeah.
and just put it on the edge of there like that.
It's just
the way up,
breathe.
yeah.
And he's soft in the head.
To where this fluffy bit is, right, and just like slam it down and. Oh wow!
There you go, brilliant. Nice.
Yeah. So you can get they do big ones which have a steel in probably the size of that. That's called a blast match. Yeah. That's just a cheap. Good that.
What do you do then? Whack this onto here?
Basically, what that is doing is you're trying to shave a bit.
That's
of
it.
the
That's it. Well
so
done, mate.
find an edge like a knife.
Why is that one
Yeah.
easier than that one?
So if you hold it like that,
Different metals. If a metal is
like that,
softer, then
but
it's
you
going
want
to
that angled up a
create
bit.
more sparks, but they're
That
not
was
as
that
not as
way
hot.
to
Get my
shave it,
fingers
so you
more
just
comfortable
hit it,
in
but
it.
like a glancing
But
blow.
also,
That's it.
it depends on the piece of flint that you've got. So if you've got a nice piece of flint with a nice sharp edge, you're going to throw off more sparks. Whereas if it's a bit dull, it's not cutting up because it's like Dave said, it's the rock cutting off pieces of metal. If you're not using a sharp bit of rock, it's not going to cut off those pieces.
What?
Can I try using the push bar thing?
The push fire, yeah?
Do you need a piece of flint?
No, it's just looking quite nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
So basically, put it on the tin, squeeze the
Yeah,
top.
so that one isn't.
Dave, like that.
No, there, see there. Squeeze it together.
Yeah, I did
That's
it.
As
I did
hard
it
as
there
you
and
can,
it was
and then
getting
just
flames.
plunge it down like a plunger.
Oh, that is.
That one's fine. That's sharp.
No, you don't have to. Let me show you. Yeah. Just put it on. Yeah. Squidge it. And just press down.
That's really clever, that. I really like that.
Yeah. They are good.
It's a
then.
good idea. Yeah, I'd never seen that
You know
before.
what candle boys use?
Yeah,
It might be, yeah.
yeah. I've seen a video like
Yeah,
that.
Blast
one.
Match is the
Yeah.
like the one, the main one. I don't know
Right.
who makes that one. I
Yeah.
forgot. But it's like that's a mini blast match if you
Yeah.
like. But the blast match is about it's about that size. And you get a belting spark off it.
Yeah, before you got to that, I was wondering whether you would have one of them. Yeah, I've never actually seen one in person.
Squeeze it together as hard as you can that way. Yeah, like that way. Yeah, go on. Push.
Thank you, Dave.
Bit harder.
So when you get home, get some charcoal from your dad and see if you can get some of those sparks into it.
I'm gonna go now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you've